some debate on Jared Hanks' parallel bar scores. The referee perhaps getting involved.
Harry Berkey, the head judge on this event, has been in this situation many times. But what Jared did is he opened up the door for a slightly lower score. And in a competition like this, the American Cup, you just can't give the judges that opportunity.
So Jared Hanks and the rest of us wait. So we'll take a break now, have the scores when we return.
Message about the Olympics Triplecast. Now, in addition to NBC's coverage, you can order the Olympics Triplecast. You get 3 cable channels of your favorite Olympic events 24 hours a day, including an unprecedented 33 hours of gymnastics. Every tumble, every spin, every vault, every winning moment of your favorite U.S. hopefuls, from the early rounds through the finals, live with no commercials. You won't find this kind of coverage anywhere else. The Olympics Triplecast. For the first time in history, you get to choose what you want to watch when you want to watch it. To order the Olympics Triplecast, call 1-800-OLYMPIC. That's 1-800-OLYMPIC. Call now. Join me for the Olympics Triplecast. Call 1-800-OLYMPIC. It's an Olympic lover's dream.
The NBA All-Star Game now, the American Cup Gymnastics. So the folks down in Central Florida have seen the very best in 3 great sports. We can tell you the Jared Hanks score on the parallel bars after much judging debate was 9.75. So that's the number Karpenyenko needs to beat to take the lead with 1 rotation to go. Now let's go to what's the most intriguing battle between the top 2 U.S. women. Shannon Miller, who has her eyes on something special, and although she's frail and delicate and so quiet, she's a real powerhouse, and of course we know the strength of Kim Zmeskal.
Well, it is so interesting to see the difference between the two body builds and also the personality. Kim really plays to the crowd. She is very powerful, and you can see that in a very strong build. Shannon, on the other hand, is very slight, almost very fragile looking, but you'd be amazed at just how much power she does possess.
Would like to thank American Athletics.
Kim Zmeskal literally carries the weight of the world on her 16-year-old shoulders. She's America's first world all-around champion. She's expected to win. She's the one. She carries pressure into Barcelona more than any gymnast in American history. She's taken the year off from high school, spends endless hours training, thinking, and wide-eyed wondering.
That's what I'm training for. But now I feel like everybody else training wants to be so.
And the Olympic dream has no automatic. A challenger grows stronger each day. 14-year-old Shannon Miller. Quiet and shy, the sinewy, muscled Oklahoman is talented enough to take on Zmeskal. She showed her medal just last night when she beat the world champion here in the qualifying round.
On his out. Slow the connection. You're dribbling out and you're open. You're trying to keep it. Make that connection.
It's like once you're up there, you don't want to lose, because then everybody will look away and look at this other person.
And last year at the American Cup, Kim did lose to her best friend, Betty Aquino. Kim stood in the background and watched all eyes focus on her teammates. It was a troubling time for Zmeskal. A simmering feud with Bella didn't help.
Unfortunately, her priorities cannot be set right. and that makes it up probably her alternate goals.
I wouldn't be spending so much time in the gym if I didn't want to be in the world championship.
And all seemed to be forgiven when Kim won her second U.S. title in May. And then the ultimate, Kim Zmeskal, world all-around champion. The heartache of last year evaporated, and by the time the Queen had taken her place atop the podium, she was a changed athlete.
With this, her new set, her mind is set, yes. I have some obligations, and I have to fulfill some other requirements, which in test I did not consider so high.
I used to just be, so and work out, and then I go in a competition and be able to do it, and everyone's like, that's not fair, But I think lately, my workouts are so So hopefully that'll mean my competitions will be even better.
Outside the Caroli system in Edmond, Oklahoma, Shannon Miller rises with the sun each and every day. She tries to lead a normal life. She really tries.
She's never missed a practice for 5 years. Not for sickness, not for anything. Illness, injury, nothing. And there isn't another girl, I don't think, in the country who can say that I know of.
Even in this Olympic year, Shannon, a freshman, still attends high school. Unlike many gymnasts these days who move away from home to be close to their coach, she still lives with her family, her father, a college physics professor, and her mother, a bank vice president.
Okay. Well, that's a little soft.
As we look ahead to Barcelona, one thinks of U.S. gymnastics elite, and then one thinks Caroli. Shannon is an exception.
I don't know how I do it that way, but I think I'm going to find here. I mean, I'm up with them. I'm going to go out there, and I don't have to be there.
One person who has been trained by Caroli is her coach, Steve Nuno, who has taken the Masters coaching example and now has a chance to beat Bella.
What he did for me is he taught me how to motivate a gymnast. I believe that he is probably the best coach in the world. I think he could take a basketball team and coach a basketball team to a championship.
The great motivator. Maybe you taught this man too much.
Oh my God. He is crazy, you know. He's flattering me too much. And I believe, you know, the Bobby Knight guy would be really mad if he heard about this thing. Basketball deal. But sure, you know, I appreciate, sure, you know, you're having a nice competition, and I hope, you know, we're going to go a long way from now on, helping the kids, helping each other, pushing each other all the way till the goal's going to be somebody's neck.
Well, we know there's much success ahead. You know, Steve, a rivalry is healthy and in a nice competitive way. Is it a little bit sweeter to know that Shannon might be able to successfully take the throne from Kim?
Well, I don't think it's the throne here. It's, you know, obviously she's a world champion, but this is the American Cup. You know, Kim is not the defending champion in the American Cup this year. It's anybody's ball game, and we've got two great champions. I'm really excited to be in contention at all.
Okay, well, Bella said there's no battle between the coaches. There's always a battle, however, with the judges. The brilliant teacher, the gifted student. Back to you, Judge.
All right, Randy, and you'll learn some lessons from Bella in working the officials. He's an Al McGuire of this sport. We'll return. Balance beam coming up.
There's a hunger inside you.
For first, after 4 rotations, Jared Hanks of the U.S. and Dmitry Karpenyenko of the CIS. And Karpenyenko knows he has to better 9.75. That was the score of Hanks, 9.75 to take the lead with only the high bar to go.
We now bring up our
So we've seen big gymnastics from Karpenyenko all day, and he won't disappoint again.
This is his favorite event, he told us, parallel bars.
I mentioned a little bit earlier about the major release skill that Scott Keswick did on the parallel bars, that 1 3/4 front. Well, he does it, but he does it from a much more difficult combination. But whenever you have those big skills, there's a chance for a big mistake. He'll set up for him right here. 2 Healy twirls. This one goes right into that skill. Double front. Oh, my. Perfectly done. Long, extended line. Beautiful back toss. The dismount double pike got a stick. Oh, my. Boy.
Now, the big red machine, the Russians continue to produce one great young gymnast after another. Someone no one knew here, Dmitry Karpenyenko, just finished 3rd in the Nationals. And what a showing.
Let's watch at that very difficult combination. He'll do those 2 Heelys. These alone are D-rated skills right into a double front. And so difficult to keep moving. He does it perfectly.
His hero, the great Russian champion, Bilazerchev. He'd be proud of the kind of power moves that Dmitry has. It would appear that that was good enough to take the lead from Jared Hanks.
Well, that should definitely take the lead. Jared opened up the door just a little bit with that hop on the landing. Same dismount, double pike from both of them. Karbanyenko stuck his. Jared, of course, the small hop. You know, a meet like this, doing so well internationally in this very important Olympic year, could be just what it takes for Karbanyenko to make his way onto that Russian team for 1992.
You remember with Jared Hanks, there was a long conference before they finally decided on a 9.75.
Well, I got to tell you, I do not know what they're talking about here because I saw absolutely no visible errors whatsoever. Obviously, there's a discrepancy. If the scores are out of range, that means if one of the judges has a 9.9 and another has a 9.6, they have to come together and work it out.
Three or four. 3D. Double front to pull in, the double pike back, and the heely.
Well, they are sorting out exactly what each judge has given difficulty-wise. That's really not the question right here. There were no errors in the exercise. It was wonderfully composed, and it was as difficult as being done in the world today. Shouldn't be any lower than a 9.85.
Meanwhile, the balance beam for women is this rotation, and Shannon Miller and Kim Zemeskel will be the last two competitors.
Harry Berkey, the gentleman you heard speaking a little bit earlier, he's the head judge, and he is trying to bring the panel together, trying to say that each athlete, each judge must be in the same range of scores.
9.80. And again, this crowd, although a pro-U.S. crowd, as you might imagine, even Jared Hanks can't believe it's a 9.80.
Well, that's disappointing. And, you know, Jared doesn't want to see that happening. He wants to go out on the floor, and he wants to win this competition on his own. He doesn't want any help from anybody.
Meanwhile, on the beam, Svetlana Kozlova, currently in 5th place.
Take a look at this mount. A front dummy on. It's a blind landing, as you can imagine. So difficult when you only are dealing with 4 inches of a balance beam. Of all her apparatus, Dick, I would say this is Svetlana's weakest. She does all the traditional skills. This first acrobatic skill, 2 layouts in a row. But of course, what is so characteristic of the Russian athletes are their beautiful lines and wonderful choreography, and Svetlana has very nice flexibility that she'll display throughout the routine. Taking a little setup time for a second acrobatic skill. A round-off layout. Oh, fighting to stay on. Now, that is very uncharacteristic. We so seldom see the Russian athletes fall off the balance beam. Obviously, this is taking her right out of the running.
0.5 of a point anytime the athlete falls off any apparatus, so no chance whatsoever to challenge the leaders.
She's looking a little timid at this point. Getting set for a dismount. It's a big dismount. It'll take the entire length of the beam, a round off back handspring. It looks as if she's on the floor. Double back, and she does stick her landing. That's impressive to see that she ends on a high note.
17-year-old from St. Petersburg, currently regarded as the Russians' number 8, and there's Shannon Miller. She'd like to be looked at as the U.S. number 1. She's going against the world champion, and her father, Ron, the professor at University of Central Oklahoma, who uses some of her videotape to teach physics in the classroom. He's got the camera at the ready. Miller and Zemeskel coming up.
If this were a perfect world, we'd all be driving expensive cars and living on beachfront properties. But in the real world, you have to eat. Well, you can eat tuna once in a while. And you have to buy stuff like socks and shoes and CDs. Well, maybe not so many CDs. Fortunately, the people of Suzu have to buy stuff too. That's why they created a rodeo. A 4-wheel drive vehicle you can afford. And why they'll give you a great deal on a sound system